It's been about 10 months since we first drove the new Lexus ISs out at Michigan International Speedway. And right before Christmas, we had a chance to drive the IS350 F Sport and thought it was all right, but the motor was really lacking. There was really nothing wrong with it other than the motor was unacceptable. It was underpowered, a little harsh, but that's what it is. This time today here on Rumblestrip.NET and 10-minute test drive, we're going to have a look at the bigger brother. It's the IS350 F Sport. So this is our second stab at the Lexus IS series after our initial drive back in, I believe it was August last year, when we first drove this out at and around Michigan International Speedway. Our first stab was with the IS350 F Sport in all-wheel drive just before Christmas. And in general, it's a pretty solid car, especially that time of year with the all-wheel drive. It was nice, other than the motor. It's an old 2.5 liter V6 Toyota engine that's been around for about 100 years, figuratively speaking. And it gets the job done. But if you've seen any of the videos about that particular car, especially the European stuff, they all hate the car. Well, they don't so much hate the car as they just thought it was grossly underpowered, and they're not wrong. And also that being in much older engine technology is the engine refinement just isn't there. Not up to modern Toyota standards anyways. So this is our, again, second stab at it. This is just a rear-wheel drive version. This is the 350 F Sport, and we can say that everything that we liked about this car before, we still like. But the one big advantage of this one is that it is the 3.5 liter V6. And that makes a huge difference on a number of different levels. Not only is the engine refinement much better, it sounds better, it's much quicker. That was our biggest issue, was just that the 250 is so, I don't want to say so underpowered, but just lacking really for power, that it's really noticeable. With this 350, it makes a decent noise, it accelerates. We're just in normal mode, so that's why the shifts aren't as quick as they could be. We can move this up from normal into sport, and then sport plus, and then we'll take a stab here at the acceleration again, and you can see what a difference that makes when it comes to shift points being snapped off here. So we'll come up here and maybe not as much as you think, but there is some difference there. But it sounds good. The acceleration is much better. It just makes it a completely different car to drive, much more enjoyable. And since we're focused on the driving, we'll just stick there for a minute, because this is, being the F Sport, the driver-focused car until the V8 F, actual ISF comes out. So driving around in just normal, in your normal standard mode, the car is very comfortable and quiet to drive, very relaxing. When you put your foot in it, it'll still go. When you move it into sport or sport plus, the suspension definitely firms up quite a bit. It does make handling a little sharper, throttle responses are sharper, steering sharpens up just a bit. So it's nice, just it gets a little abrupt over harsh pavement. Now over normal rough pavement or standard kind of, choppy roads, it's not bad. However, if you do hit some big potholes, the suspension tuning needs just a wee bit more adjustment, because it almost feels Hyundai-like, and that's not a compliment. When we say Hyundai-like, it's very sharp. It's damped in the sense that it doesn't really come through the cabin as far as jarring. It just sounds really, really abrupt and really harsh. So that is something that does need a little bit of tweaking, and I'm sure as the car evolves, it'll get ironed out. This is a vehicle that is going to compete against cars like the Audi A4, the BMW 4 Series, Mercedes C-Class. So how does it stack up against those? And again, it depends on what you're looking for. Now, to me, this stacks up reasonably well against the Audi A4. With that being said, the new Audi A4 is probably less than 6 months away from being rolled out as we film this here in mid-May of 2014. Once the new A4 comes out, that may change. But in general, the interior of this is pretty solid. The materials are good. It has a nice screen. You get used to the Lexus mouse system in here for navigating on the screen. The gauge cluster brings a little bit of the LFA coolness in the sense that the gauge actually moves left to right and you can switch that back and forth on how you like it. It's kind of cool. The actual instrument cluster is good. Plenty of information available. The Bluetooth system in here works good. This has the Mark Levinson upgraded stereo system, and it's good. If you've watched our videos and our reviews of Lexuses and Toyotas, you know that for us, the sound systems in these are relatively hit and miss. Some are great, some and this one is definitely on the better system. And we've even had Mark Levinson systems and other Lexuses that we have not been impressed with. This one is very solid. No complaints about it. Of course, it could be better, but 99.5% of the people are going to be very happy with it. It's only if you're like a real audiophile kind of person that you'll wish there were some tweaks in there, and I can't say we qualify completely on that 0.5 of 1%, but we know what to listen for, so that's why we're picking. This stacks up fairly well, as we said, against the Audi A4 as it sits now. We have not been in the new BMW 4 Series, so we can't honestly give an opinion on that other than to say, for more of the driver-focused car, the BMW will probably be a little bit better. From all reports, this latest generation seems to have come back a little bit more to the BMW heritage as far as driving dynamics. It's still too big and too heavy, but that's a rant for another day. Mercedes C-Class, I think this is a pretty solid competitor against the C-Class as well, as far as comfort, as far as performance. Here's the advantage that the Lexus is going to have against all of the German rivals. And I guess we should throw in the Cadillac ATS as well, because that is certainly a rival for this as well, and we're getting that to drive in about 6 weeks, so kind of excited to drive that as well. The thing that you get with a Lexus is you get the Lexus/Toyota quality. With the BMW, with an Audi, with a Mercedes, the saying is, never own a German car outside of your warranty time frame. And that generally is very true, because it's usually not very long after warranty that things start to go wrong and those repair bills get very expensive very quickly. With the Toyotas and the Lexus, that's not something you really have to worry too much about. And that peace of mind sometimes is enough for a lot of people to make the decision to come this way. Will the others be better drivers? Maybe. As far as performance vehicles or enthusiast type of, lookout, maybe. This does a really good job. Remember that Akio Toyota, trying to rescue in some ways the family name, is trying to make driving dynamics important again, and that's something that comes through in this. It's not the ultimate, executive sedan or whatever you want to call it, but it's a solid effort. Styling on this car we like a lot. The spindle grille is really, either you like it or you don't. We like it. We like the texture in the grille as well. The shapes, okay, sometimes they're a little convoluted, but in general, it's a very pleasing car to look at. It has a nice, aggressive look. It's not blandtastic, which is always a win. When you look at Audis, yes, they look good, but they've sort of, there's not enough personality into the design. They've become a little safe. BMW, well, the latest 4 Series actually looks really good, where in other generations, recent generations, maybe, not the most attractive. And the new Mercedes C-Class, we have to say, looks very good. We like that one a lot. And the ATS, well, hey, that's, with Cadillac styling, that's another one. You either like it or you don't, and we happen to like it. But styling is very subjective. So what one person's going to like, one person won't. In general, we like the styling on this. We think it's good. To wrap this up, we like this vehicle a lot, especially with the 350 trim with the bigger V6. Much better effort, much better to drive. If you're gonna default to say, well, it's not German, the Germans aren't the be-all end-all anymore. There's other rivals out there. I mean, the Cadillac ATS is a hugely competitive option, but some people aren't gonna buy an American car. Some people won't buy a Japanese car. They think Lexus is, just not an interesting brand. What we have to say is drive this vehicle. It's really good. It has some shortcomings. The rear seat isn't the best, as far as room, but it's a really good effort, enjoyable to drive. We like that they took some risks with the exterior, with the interior. By the way, we didn't say we really enjoy this two-tone black and red. It's very, very attractive. So this should be a car that you drive if you're shopping in this category. Now, whether you decide to buy this or not is going to depend on your personal biases and how you look at the category. So, would we recommend you drive it? Yes. Is it worth buying? Absolutely. Is it right for you? Only you can decide that.